we have got two rifle athletes here with us, Regan Diamond and Susan Carter, this is going to be really interesting because right off the bat, I just have so many questions. I don't even know where to start. My first thought is, how does one get into the sport of rifle? Anyone can take this.
We got into it kind of similarly, didn't we? Like 4-H.
Yeah, we both started in 4-H. I started shooting BB guns, like the Red Ryder BB gun everybody wants. But I started in that and then just worked my way up, and yours was similar.
Yeah, so, like, what's it? Have you seen, like, The Christmas Story, like that movie, or A Christmas Story?
Yes.
It's kind of not.
It's been a long time.
It's from, like, the 1960s, so,
Yeah.
like, it's an old movie. But, like, my family watches that every Christmas, and, like, the main theme in that movie is the kid gets, like, a Red Ryder BB gun. And so one Christmas, my dad got me one. It was pink. But,
Wow.
I didn't like pink, but it was fine. It was a BB gun. And so I ran around like that for, like, a few years, just shooting things with a BB gun. And then my dad was like, well, let's do something productive with that. And then he put me in 4-H rifle.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you kind of go from there. Then you meet people and you meet coaches, and eventually you just get better. So.
Okay, I'm very familiar with 4-H. I'm from a small town.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone today, and I said, yeah, I'm going to interview two girls from Rifle. And I said, I imagine that most of them get started in 4-H. You know what 4-H is? And he was like, no. Can you tell people what 4-H is? For those who don't know, because I think people have no idea what that is.
So from where I was from, okay, back up. It started as more of an agricultural type thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it started in like tomato and corn growing. But where I'm from, we were ag focused, but kind of more youth, youth development leadership.
Uh-huh.
You can do DPA, District Project Achievement, which is like public speaking and like defending points. I actually did mine on Target Sports.
Your 4-H speech?
Yes.
I also competed in 4-H speech.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Before rifle, I showed chickens. That was about it.
I know a ton of people who
There
have
you
showed
go.
chickens.
Yeah.
And hog showing.
No,
That's
just
a thing.
chickens. From
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're from Georgia, correct?
Yes.
And then you're from Colorado.
Yes.
So very different places. How do you both end up at Ole Miss? What was the decision to come from Colorado to the South, obviously, and you kind of stayed in the South when you came? So I don't know which one of you wants to tell your story first. We can start with you, Regan, if you want, how you got recruited.
Okay. So, like, my senior year of high school, I really didn't think I'd be going into NCAA rifle. I just, I kept reaching out to coaches and not getting answers or getting rejected. And so, like, the end of my senior year, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to shoot for myself because obviously I'm probably not going anywhere by this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I shot in what we have, like, a junior Olympics, and you qualify by state for the most part, and I qualified that year. So I went and shot at the junior Olympics. And there were quite a few, like, NCAA coaches there, and I shot pretty well. And it's like suddenly I got all that attention just at once.
You had some gold medals in there in under 18s, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so,
pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, so it was like dead silence, nothing, no attention, and then everything in 1 week. It was, like, very overwhelming. And this happened, like, I want to say May. And so that's, like, the very end of recruiting. So, like, you only have so many possibilities to go somewhere at that point. So it moved pretty fast after that. Like, I was thinking about Alaska, and then I was thinking about Ole Miss and Memphis.
Right.
But I just know when I came to visit Ole Miss, like, I really liked the town. I liked the coach. Yeah, like, when I left, it felt like I was leaving home a little bit. And so that's how I kind of knew that Ole Miss was where I wanted to sign.
That's awesome. And your story, Susan, what was that like? You coming from Georgia and deciding on Ole Miss?
Yeah. So I did really want to stay in the South. There was another college near my hometown that I was also considering shooting. It was Georgia Southern or Ole Miss that were really my top two. And I came on a visit, just like Regan, and I loved it here. And I got to spend time with the team and with the coaches and just see how they treated each other and the team dynamic and culture as a whole. And it was perfect and exactly what I wanted. And so I just decided to come out here after I got an offer.
And, okay, so sophomore, correct?
Yes.
And junior.
Yes.
So I know that obviously the head coach now was an assistant for 2 years. Has that felt like any change at all, or was it pretty seamless in terms of him being here and now taking over the program? Has there been any shifts or changes, or is it mostly the same for you all?
I think there's definitely been some shifts. I feel like as a freshman, I was more coached by Coach Will while he was the assistant coach rather than Coach Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my recruiting was done by Coach Rachel, though, so I got to build that connection with her, but more of a coaching connection with Coach Will. So I feel like for me it was pretty seamless making that transition. And I feel like the team hasn't, like, our dynamic is still the same
Yeah.
for the most part.
For the most part, I'd say.
What do you think?
So I have a bit of a different experience. So, like, pretty much everyone on the team now is different from who I knew my freshman year.
Yeah.
And so that alone has made the team feel different, which would have happened anyways, regardless of head coaching changes. But I was closer to Coach Rachel, our previous head coach. But I will say Coach Will has stepped up a lot, and I've appreciated a lot of his coaching, and I've gotten a lot closer to him. And so it's actually been a good transition for me.
That's great. So let's get into it then, the actual sport. I think it's super unique. I don't believe that a ton of people know a lot about it. I've got to do a lot of research today on it and was watching the NCAA championships from 24. And so that was really cool. But there's obviously two, I don't know if you want to call them sections. What do you guys call them? The small bore and the air rifle?
Two kind of like different disciplines.
Disciplines, that's the word. So can you guys talk about them for us? So I don't want to be the one to explain them because I obviously don't shoot them, but I don't know if you have a favorite between the two, but can you explain what small bore and what air rifle is and the differences?
I personally love small bore better.
Me too.
Hey, twins. So a small bore is just a 22 rifle, but the ones we shoot are very precise and very well made, much different than your general, what you get at the gun store or the Bass Pro.
Yeah, they look like Tron rifles, I've been told. Like they,
Who?
like you know the movie
rifles.
Tron?
No.
Oh Lord. Okay.
You'll have to show me later.
They look like weird futuristic guns, I guess.
They
is what I'm
definitely
trying
look
to
futuristic.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, but so small bore we shoot 3 positions: kneeling, prone, and standing. That's kind of just what they sound like. Kneeling, you're just on the floor. Kneeling, prone, you're laying down, and then standing, you're standing up. But I like it better because there's just more. It's different, so there's more to have to figure out and problem solve.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy that. It also tends to go well for me
That's always fun.
historically. So, yeah.
And wait, and during that, is there a time limit between positions and changing things on your rifle that you have to have before you start shooting again, or how does that work?
Yeah, so when we start the match, we have 15 minutes of siders in kneeling. And then after that 15 minutes is up, they swap us to match, and we have an hour and a half to shoot our 20 shots in kneeling, and then we change over to siders in prone, and you can shoot as many as you want. 20 shots record in prone, same thing for standing. You swap it over, you shoot as many siders as you want, and then your 20 shots match for that. But you have to finish that all in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and transitions and all that.
Yeah.
That's why I like it more, though. It's more busy, more things to do and keep up with.
And so air rifle, what's the difference?
So air rifle, so you get 15-minute sighter period, same as you do with small bore, but then you have an hour and 15 minutes to shoot your match, and that is just 60 shots all standing. And that's it. So it's a lot less busy, but it's still pretty complicated because, the standing position is, we have the air rifles and those still need to be very precise. But
And are your rifles specially made for you?
No.
Okay.
they're specially adjusted for you,
Okay.
but not like made, like not
Okay.
custom made.
And the gear.
Yeah. So the suits.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. So
Why
we have
is that?
suits that are custom made. So like it's a jacket and then pants, and they're kind of made of canvas fabric, and then some leather, and they're very stiff. And the purpose is to keep you stiff and keep you still, but they're not like aiding in how you're like holding the gun.
No.
They're just supposed to kind of like keep things together, I guess. And yeah, those are custom made and very expensive.
So my thoughts are the matches could get really long.
Yeah.
So is rifle, do you feel like it's more physically demanding or mentally taxing?
Mentally taxing.
Yes. So the matches are long, and we're kind of doing, for the most part, the same thing.
You would not believe how hard it is to do the same thing 60 times.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
I believe
but,
it.
Yeah.
And like mentally doing that over and over again, and like
Without-
having the capacity for the entire smallbore match and then an entire standing match too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you in practice then prepare for the mental taxation that is going to go on? Obviously, physically, I mean, you can shoot all you want, right? But how in practice do you simulate what it's going to be like in competition when, let's say, you're not hitting your spots quite in the way that you want? And how do you readjust that when you are in the position that you have to continue to shoot?
Like our mental,
Yeah.
we adjust our
Yeah.
mentality.
So
Yeah.
in practice, we'll go through drills to kind of like amp up intensity level or like kind of make you more anxious or more nervous. So you can learn how to deal with those nerves ahead of time. But I think, unfortunately, a lot of the time, the best way to learn how to get yourself mentally through a match is to do a match.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be kind of frustrating if you're struggling with mentality, I think. But then, like, at least for me, a big help has been like the sports psych at Ole Miss. Because when you're on the line, it's just you and the gun, and there's not much else going on, and it's very easy to kind of sit there and think about like, oh, what if I shoot this 9, I might, something crazy. Like you just kind of go down these spirals, and it's a lot of just stopping that from happening and coming back to the present and coming back to your process and what you're doing in that moment, pretty much.
To the thought of the target, how small are we talking? What are we shooting at that you're trying to hit?
Do you have a pin?
I do have a pin.
You have the end of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
that.
10.
Everyone, this is the 10. This is the 10.
Yeah.
Doesn't it go up to a 10-9?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's like perfectly centered on that.
Everyone. That I would literally be nowhere near.
Yeah.
It would be bad.
And that's in the middle of a target the size of a quarter, about.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you like, is it just because I mean if you're hitting a 9, that's like, oh, that's not very good,
Oh, 9s are,
terrible.
yeah,
Coach
those
Will.
add up.
He's like, no 9s.
no 9s.
So you need to be having at least a 10 at this point.
Yeah. Not
We're
just
looking for 10-7
10x.
at this point.
Yeah. A 10x is
Holy
like
moly.
a 10.2 and above. And those matter. Because if two people, this doesn't happen super often, but it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
If two people shoot a 600, which is 60 10s, then it comes down to the X count. And that's like how many 10.2s and above each of those people shot. So if one shot like 56 X's and one shot 57 X's, the one with the 57 wins.
Wow.
And so it comes down to that sometimes.
Do you think that there's something, it's obviously such a precise sport. Is precision something that you kind of gravitate toward in your everyday life? Like what attracted you to the sport?
I think every rifle shooter is a bit of a perfectionist. I think we've
You
all
think
got
so?
that trait. Yeah.
Interesting.
You don't think
She
so?
doesn't think it.
I don't know. I just look at our team and I feel like we're so different.
Yeah, we are very different. Like, I've
Like-
got ADHD, and that's just, like, wild on its own. So, like,
But like how we all approach school, I feel is all
yeah.
a little bit different. And that's how you could normally see perfectionism in a lot of things.
Yeah. But
But I think we're all kind of different. So I don't know.
I like wing half my test, and I do fine. I have A's, but like, and then you have like Gracie who like stresses a lot.
Yeah, but she has all A's too.
Yeah.
She's a genius.
Y'all all must be geniuses. I believe you're in biomedical engineering.
Yes.
What are you, physics?
Mathematics.
Oh, mathematics. You just wing your mathematics test.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
That's
Also
yeah.
a genius over here.
Seems like a genius to me. She's just winging that mathematics test. But seriously, I mean, when you start shooting, like you get a BB gun and then you start 4-H. I mean, what about it did you just enjoy to the point where you continued to do it and then you wanted to do it in college? What was the thing that stuck out to you about it?
I think I like solving problems.
Yeah.
Just like you're shooting and there's something that's wrong. How do we fix that? Start fixing it. And then hopefully you get an end result. You know, I'm coming to learn it's not that simple all the time. But I still think that that's a fun part of the sport. And that started with a BB gun. It's, you know, it's not as precise and you can't change much on it. So there's not as much that can go wrong. But just like growing or like going through the levels of shooting, it kind of increases the problem solving that you have to do.
And I think that's why I like Smallbore more.
Mm-hmm.
Because like kneeling, for instance, sometimes just how level or like how, I guess the leveling of your hips, like that alone changes if if like the group you're shooting is in the middle or if it's like slightly down and to the left or if it's up to the right, you know, like those little changes with just your body matter a lot with how good your hold is or where you're consistently shooting on the target.
Right. So even the smallest fix
Yeah.
could change.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
That is interesting.
Because it's like, oh, I just moved my foot like that, like a millimeter. And suddenly it's better. And you're like, well, that's weird, but okay. And
Something,
it's just, it's fun to go through that process.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that we were talking off camera that I think is so interesting about this sport that I learned today was that it is truly co-ed. And I do not know if I cannot think of any other sports in the NCAA that are exactly like that because you are truly competing against men as well for these national titles. And we were also saying off camera that the women tend to win them for the most part. Why do you think that is? And is that just normal to you to just see men in competition as well?
Yeah.
Do you like that you kind of whip up on them a little bit?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
There's like, I don't know, how many all-women's teams are there in the NCAA? Like 4 or 5?
There's actually a good bit.
Yeah, there's quite a few now, but like we're an all-women's team, and then we can compete against a co-ed team, and so there will be men on the line. Like I remember I shot next to a left-hand shooter, and he was a guy, and we stared at each other the whole match. That was fun. But yeah, I think, I mean, scientifically speaking, like I kind of said earlier, like we have a lower center of gravity, so that just gives us we have biological advantages over men when it comes to shooting the positions that we do. I also think women are just smarter, but like, you know, that's me.
I just think that would just be cool. I think that's different. You don't get to always, it just raises the level, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And that's just a difference. I did want to get into, obviously, you have a teammate, Audrey, who is an Olympian, I mean, bronze medalist at the Paris Olympics, and was the first individual national champion for Ole Miss rifle and air rifle this past year. What is it like going to practice every day with her? I mean, obviously you're all shooting differently. It is individual, but do you feel like you learn from her? Do you feel like, you know, you learn from each other? What is that experience like?
Well, I mean, she's just
another
teammate.
Yeah.
She is the kindest person you'll ever meet, and so funny, actually hilarious. But I would think just seeing how she approaches her practices and her matches is how an amazing rifle shooter would do that. And she's so calm about it, and she does what she needs to do. She gets the job done, and you know, that's...
And I mean,
That's what she's doing. That's her job.
she's shown me that, like, even with, like, Olympic level rifle shooters, everyone is still different. Because, like, I've talked to her about this before, where before a match, she feels like she needs to be more, like, kind of higher energy, not higher energy, but, like, more tense, more, like, intensity, more focus, more drive. Whereas I need to be calm. Like, I need to just kind of be able to chillax and talk to people. And she will, like, put her headphones in, and that's it. And so some, people are just very different, I feel like. But, yeah, at the end of the day, I'd say it's like on any other teammate. I walk in, I'm like, hi, Audrey. She's like, hi, Regan. And it's fun to get to know her, honestly.
Yeah.
If there was something you could share with, anyone about rifle, about the sport that you think people don't know or might be a misconception, what would you share with people?
I actually answered this question the other day to, I think it was just one of my friends. And I said, we do shoot real guns and the bullets are real.
Yeah, we get that question a lot for
yeah.
some reason.
We also get the remark, oh, I didn't know we had a rifle team.
Yeah.
And then they ask, is it real guns? And I answer what I just said.
Like, no, it's a water gun. Like,
Yeah. It's like those salt guns that you shoot the bugs with.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. See, I was just thinking about this like a couple days ago, and we already talked about it, but like how women are better at it than men, because, like I said, it's like one of those sports you're like, yeah, it's one of those sports people hear it and they're like, oh, men probably dominate that. And you're like, men suck. Not like suck, but like there's just, if you look at the stats, there's just far more women that are better at it than men. And I think, actually, I don't know when this rule got changed, but women used to shoot 40 shots instead of 60 shots, and men shot 60 shots. And, like, that was because they didn't want to compare the women to the men, because they knew we were better.
Ooh.
But eventually they changed that rule, and obviously women started to dominate after that. But, I don't know, I just think that's a cool fact.
Interesting point. Well, historically, the women's rifle team here has been pretty successful, and you guys already opened up your season obviously over the weekend. What are you excited about after that season opener, and what are you looking forward to the rest of the season in terms of expectations for the team?
I think for a first match it went pretty well, which tells me that the team we have this year is really good at handling pressure. And so as we get further into the season, pressure gets higher and higher and higher. And if we start off with people that are able to handle that and able to walk themselves through that, then I'm excited to see how we do, because honestly, that's a good sign to me.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I thought the match this weekend, it went really well.
Yeah.
And just setting that standard to go into the next few weeks, especially with these matches back to back that we have. It'll be a task, but I think the team is ready for it.
Okay, I do actually want to end on a more fun one, because you both, obviously you're athletes and you're students, but outside of when you're at the range or going to class, who are you, outside of being a student athlete here at Ole Miss? What do you enjoy doing?
So I'm very involved in the Wesley,
yeah.
Wesley Christian organization.
Mm-hmm.
I go Wednesday nights and I help with a freshman small group. And that just brings me so much joy throughout the week. And I've made my closest friends there. So that's just something I love to do. Also just hanging out with the team. We really have a great time and we enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, we're a fun group of people, I think.
Yeah. So
I think.
my roommate is on the team too, Kayla, and Regan's all the time over at our house. We just love to hang out with each other, and I think that's a great part of, or like a big part of what this team is.
Yeah. More friends are from the rifle team than not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I could branch out a little bit, but for me, like, I work at the rock wall at South Campus Rec here.
Amazing. I've never done it, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah, it's super fun. You should come. And so, like, that kind of got me into rock climbing and all that kind of outdoorsy stuff. And then, like, I like to go hiking. I'm from Colorado, so, like, no surprise. But, you know, yeah, I like to do that kind of stuff.
And do you think after college, rifle is in your future in terms of national competition, or are you ready to go into the next phase of life after that? I know you still have some time.
Big question.
I think I'd be ready to move on.
There.
That's me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I've always made plans for like a job and, just life after college. So,
Because rifle's not really one of those sports you can like make a lot of money in.
I could see that.
mm-hmm. It's like Olympic team or not,
Yeah, or nothing.
basically.
So, yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything else you'd want to share? If not, we've covered a lot. I learned so much today about rifle
Yeah.
and you guys as individuals, which is really cool because I've never gotten to have a conversation with many people who do this. So it was enlightening for me.
There's only 10 of us running around right now, so
Yeah.
hard to catch.
Well, now I know 2 of the 10.
Uh-huh.
For
Like
20% of the
Pokemon,
team, I
catch
got
'em
it.
all.
I told one of our friends the other day that if you spotted all of the rifle shooters, you would get a prize. I don't know what that prize is, but
We'll come up with one. I don't
yeah,
know. Someone, ooh.
like a sticker with all of our faces on it.
Okay, well, I'm going to look at the roster. I'm finding all 10, and I'm going to come to you for my
Memorize
prize.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all so much for being
Yeah,
on with
you.
us.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having us.
Of course.